Hello everyone. Today we will see an algorithm to search a particular book in a library database in just a few seconds. That's right, in just a few seconds. It doesn't matter how big the library database is, whether it has 10,000 or 20,000 books. We will get the book that you want in just a few seconds. Well, there are various ways of searching an element in an array. But what's the most efficient way? Well, let's find out. This is one of the ways. Here, you have to find this book with the ID 15 in the array of 22 books. Well, the most obvious and the most simplest way is to check or match the ID of the first book with the ID of the book that you want to find. If they match, then you have found the book. If they don't, then check with the second book, the third book, and just go on doing this till you find the book. But is this the most efficient way? What if the array is of 10,000 and you have to find the 9,999 book? Well, it will just take a lot of time to do that. So what's the other method? Well, one of the method is this. The same question. Find the book with the ID 15 in this array of elements. The way here is you have to find the middle element. Why do we have to find the middle element? Well, as the array is sorted, all the elements on the left of the middle elements will be smaller than the middle element, and all the elements on the right will be greater than the middle elements. Now, the next step here is to check if the ID of the book that you want to find is equal to the ID of the middle element. Well, is it in this case? It's not. So now the next step is to check if it is smaller. In this case, it's not again. Now check if it is greater. Here 15 is greater than 11. And what does that mean? That means all the elements on the left side of the array, we have to just forget about it, because we know that the book 15 will not exist on that part of the array. So consider only this part. So what we did here is we divided the array into half. Now we have to just find the book in this small array. That here we have to follow the same steps. Find the middle element. Check if the middle element is equal to the element we have to find. If in this case it's not, check if it is smaller. Yes. Then just forget about the rest part of the array. Now we have a smaller array. Find the middle element. Check the middle element. Discard the array. This way, you will find the book that you want in just a few seconds. This method is called as binary search. Binary search is also called as divide and conquer, because you divide the array into two parts and you find the element in the rest part of the array. Before jumping to the code, let's see the steps in the binary search. You have to compare the element that you want to find with the middle element. If the element that you want to find matches with the middle element, we return element is found. If it is not equal, then we check if the element is greater than the middle element. Then the element can only lie on the right array after the middle element. So we recur the right array. If this is false, if it is not greater, then it is smaller. Then we have to recur the left part of the array. Well, now let's go to the code and let's see how we have implemented this in the assembly language program. Here we have this array of 10 elements. Consider this the IDs of the book. We have the key and we have the length, which is the 10th. The key is 22, which exists in the code, in the array. Well, there are two messages, whether we have found the key or not. So if the key exists in the array, we will say that key is found, or else we'll say the key is not found. So here actually the code will give the output the key is found because it exists in the array. Here we have initialized the data segment. We have set the lower bound and the upper bound and the key. Here we have a loop. So first we compare if the lower bound is greater than the upper bound. If it is true, then the element does not exist. We go to the fail part and we display the message 2, which is key is not found. If the element, then the next step is to find the middle element. If this is false, then we find the middle element in these steps. Once we have the middle element, we compare the middle element with the key. If the key is greater than or equal to the middle element, then we jump to the big label. Here we again check if it is equal. If it is equal, then we have found the element and we print the message that key is found. If it is not, then it is greater. So here we do begin is equal to mid plus 1. If these both the conditions are false, if it is not greater than equal to, then of course it is smaller. So here we decrement the end. We'll set end is equal to mid minus 1. We do that here. We again go to the root till we find the array. Once we have, we display that the element is found, or we display that the element is not found. This is the method to display the element, and then we exit the program. Now let's run this code and let's see the output. Here we get the output key is found because the key exists in our array. So this is how we have implemented binary search to find the book in the given array. Thank you.